Good morning, everyone, and welcome here from the European Handball House in Vienna for today's draw of the EHF Youth Club Trophy. Well, the Youth Club Trophy, or YCT in short, it's one of the newest additions to the club competitions portfolio of the European Handball Federation, and it brings together some of the best teams, best youth teams in European handball. The men's side of the tournament, it debuted last year, and at the final in Cologne, at Lanxess Arena, we saw the Danish team of GOG beating Veszprém Academy to become the very first winner of this competition. Well, today we will see both teams returning alongside an additional 14 for the Youth Club Trophy men. However, there's also going to be a premiere today as we introduced the Youth Club Trophy for women, and also in this event we will see 16 teams competing for glory. And it's also the women's side of the tournament, which we will draw first today. We will have, as I just said, 16 teams in this tournament. These 16 teams have already been seeded to 4 qualification tournaments of 4 teams each. You can see the 4 qualification tournaments and the participating teams here on my left side. The procedure for today's draw is very, very simple, and it follows the procedure as you probably all know it from our EHF Final Four tournaments. So we will draw the semi-final pairings today. The semi-final pairings will be played on one day, and 24 hours later, the finals will take place. So once again, you see 16 teams spread across 4 qualification tournaments in Poreč, in Zagreb, in Bistrica, Romania, as well as in Ankara, Turkey. And with that being said, I will share some additional information later. I would like to hand over for today to the 2 people conducting the draw, Markus Glaser, the European Handball Federation's Chief Sports Officer, as well as Tobias Scheder from our competitions department.
Thank you very much, Thomas. As Thomas already said, we have 16 teams competing in the Youth Club Trophy for women. They are separated into 4 different qualification tournaments, with the winner of each moving on to the final tournament. Today we will draw the semi-final pairings, and as we always do it for Final Fours, we will first draw both first teams of both semi-finals, so first team of semi-final 1, then the first team of semi-final 2, and then afterwards we will draw the second team of semi-final 1 and then the second team of semi-final 2. We start with the tournament in Porridge for the women, which has the teams of Hypo Niederösterreich, Handball Club Podravka, Győri Eto KC, and OTP Group Budućnost. And I think with this, we are ready to go. So the first team today is Budućnost from Montenegro, which is the first team of semifinal 1. And we continue with the first team of semifinal 2. And this will be Handball Club Podravka from Croatia. Second team for semifinal 1 is Hypo Niederösterreich from Austria, and they will meet Budućnost in semifinal 1. And that means we only have one team remaining. And this is of course Győri Eto KC from Hungary, who will be meeting HC Podravka from Croatia in semifinal 2. So, just a quick recap. We have in Porridge the semifinals Budućnost against Hypo Niederösterreich and Podravka against Győri Eto KC. And with this, we can move on to the second qualification tournament. So you see now in the pot we have also a red ball. This is because for the following tournaments in Zagreb, Bistrica and in Ankara, we have a host club. And to ensure the host club to be on the left side of both of their matches, we will draw them first. So please, Marcus, we can draw the first. And this is, of course, Handball Club Lokomotiva Zagreb as the host club of the qualification tournament in Zagreb. And with this, we can move on without any restrictions for the rest of the tournament. So we now get to know the first team of semifinal 2, and this will be FTC from Hungary. And now as the opponent of Lokomotiva Zagreb, we have Krim OTP Group Mercator from Slovenia as the second team in semifinal 1. Now again, only one team remaining. And this is EHF Handball from Denmark. And they will meet FTC in semifinal 2. So again, a quick recap. We have in semifinal 1 in Zagreb, Lokomotiva Zagreb against Krim OTP Group Mercator. And in semifinal 2, we have FTC against EHF Handball. So, and we go along with qualification tournament number 3 in Bistrica. Here we have the teams of Team Esbjerg from Denmark, Borussia Dortmund from Germany, Debrecen from Hungary, and of course Gloria Bistrica from Romania as the host. And we have the same procedure as before. We have the host Gloria Bistrica in the red ball, and therefore we will draw them first. Of course, we have Gloria Bistrica as the host and as first team in semifinal 1. So the first team in semifinal 2 will be Debrecen from Hungary. And we continue with the second team in semi-final 1, which will be the opponent of Gloria Bistrica. And this will be Team Esbjerg from Denmark. And the last team in this tournament is Borussia Dortmund. They are the second team in semi-final 2, and therefore they will meet Debrecen in this tournament. So, in Bistrica, in the semi-finals, we will have Gloria Bistrica against Team Esbjerg and Debrecen, who will meet Borussia Dortmund. And now we are already ready for the fourth tournament, the last one that we will draw today on the women's side, where we will face Odense Handball, Metz Handball, Ceseme Bucuresti and Kepes BSK. In this case, we have the Turkish club Kepes in the red ball, as they are basically the host, as they are representing the Turkish Handball Federation as the W17 national champion. So again, we will have the red ball drawn first. And here we have Kepes BSK. And they're the first team in semi-final 1. And as we did it before, we move on with the other 3 teams. So the first team in semi-final 2 will be Ceseme Bucuresti. And now we have the second team of semi-final 1, and this is Metz Handball, and they will face Kepes BSK in semi-final 1. And the last team in semi-final 2, we will have Odense Handball Ungdom, and they will meet Ceseme Bucuresti in semi-final 2. And therefore, just as a quick recap, in Ankara we will have Kepes against Metz Handball, and we will have Ceseme Bucuresti against Odense Handball. And for the moment, back to you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Tobias. Thank you very much, Markus, for conducting this first draw. Well, while we get ready for the Men's Youth Club Trophy, let's have a quick recap again of the 4 qualification tournaments for the women's tournament. And here we go. You can see the graphics once again and the pairings. Well, if you've been wondering when exactly these matches will take place, you have to wait for about 1 month as of today. Qualification tournament number 1, the one in Porec, is being played on the 29th and the 30th of March. The qualification tournament number 2 in Zagreb is being played on 31st of March as well as on 1st of April. And qualification tournament number 3 as well as qualification tournament number 4 are both being played on the 2nd and 3rd of April. One important note for all semi-final pairings, and again, is probably a procedure that you know from the EHF Final Fours. The playing times are set already, and you can find them on eurohandball.com. However, we will only allocate the semi-final pairings drawn today to these playing times after today's draw. So it might eventually happen that the semi-final, which is called semi-final 2, will actually be the first semi-final which is being played on the respective day. And with that, I believe we are ready for the EHF Youth Club Trophy Men. And again, I would like to draw your attention here to my left-hand side. Well, same procedure as for the women. We have 16 teams, 16 teams separated into 4 tournaments of 4 teams each. We have again a tournament in Porridge. This is actually going to be played in parallel, or one day is in parallel to the women's side of the tournament that's played in Porridge. We have a tournament in the Romanian capital of Bucharest, and then we go to Hungary twice, one tournament in Szeged and one tournament in Veszprém. And I think what's important to mention, because we haven't highlighted this so much so far, is that there's obviously for each of the winning teams an ultimate prize at stake, because the final tournament of the Youth Club Trophy on the women's side will be played alongside the Raiffeisenbank EHF Final Four in Budapest on 6th and 7th of June. And the 4 winning teams of the EHF Youth Club Trophy men, well, they will go to Cologne and to the Track Scout 24 EHF Final Four 2026, 1 week after Budapest. So it's the 13th and 14th of June. So, well, there's really a lot to play for. However, first, it's the qualification. And for the draw of this, I hand back to Tobias and to Markus.
Thank you, Thomas. Yes, once again, we will have the same procedure as we did before for the women. We will start with the qualification tournament that is going to be played in Porridge, where we do not have a club host, which means we have 4 yellow balls, and we will draw the teams as they come from the draw. In Porridge, we will have Handball Club Zagreb, we will have Aalborg Handball, the Füchse Berlin, and Eurofarm Pellister. And I think with this, for the first tournament of the men's side, we're ready. So the first team for semi-final number 1 in Porridge will be Aalborg Handball. And the first team in semi-final 2 will be Handball Club Zagreb from Croatia. So the second team in semi-final 1 will be Eurofarm Pellister. So they will meet Aalborg Handball in semi-final 1. And then we have only one team remaining. And this will be the Füchse Berlin. And they go to semi-final 2. And they will meet Handball Club Zagreb. So as a quick recap, we will have in the interface is wrong. We will have this tournament in Porridge. We will have Aalborg against Pellister, and we will have Zagreb against Füchse. Again, we have it in Porridge, not in Bucharest. Bucharest, we will come now. In Bucharest, we will again have a club host, which is Dinamo Bucharest, of course, and therefore we will draw them again first. The other teams in Bucharest are GOG, Handball Club Nantes from France, and Sporting Club de Portugal from Portugal. And with this, we can start again with the host. And this is, of course, Dinamo Bucuresti. And they will be team number 1 in semi-final 1. And now we continue just as normal in all the other tournaments. So the first team in semi-final 2 will be Sporting Club de Portugal. And the second team in semi-final 1 will be the defending champion of GOG, and they will meet Dinamo Bucuresti in semi-final 1. And now again we have only one team remaining, and this is Nantes, and they will play in semi-final 2 against Sporting Clube de Portugal. So again, a quick recap. In Bucharest, we will have Dinamo Bucuresti against GOG in semi-final 1, and in semi-final 2 we will have Sporting Clube de Portugal against Nantes. And now we already can move on to the third tournament, which is played in Szeged. As again, we have a club host in the Red Ball, which is OTP Bank PIK Szeged, and we will have again 3 other teams there, which are Barca from Spain, Kolstad Handball from Norway, and Orlen Wisla Płock from Poland. And I think with this, again, we can start with the Red Ball, which contains the host of the tournament, which is OTP Bank PIK Szeged. And as we did it before, we continue with the other 3 balls. So the first team in semi-final 2 will be Kolstad Handball, and the second team in semi-final 1 will be Barca from Spain, and they will face the host of PIK Szeged. And again, we only have one team remaining, and this will be from Poland, Orlen Wisla Płock, and they will meet Kolstad Handball in semi-final 2. So again, a quick recap. In Szeged, we will have in semi-final 1 the host OTP Bank PIK Szeged against Barca, and in semi-final 2 we will have Kolstad Handball against Orlen Wisla Płock. And with this we can move on to tournament number 4, which will be played in Veszprém. Again, of course, the host will be Veszprém, in this case the Handball Academy of Veszprém, which is correlated with the Champions League club. And the other 3 tournaments, the other 3 clubs in this tournament are Paris Saint-Germain, SC Magdeburg, and Iskra Kielce. And once again, we will start with the Red Ball, which contains the host. And this is Veszprém Handball Academy. And as usual, we continue with the other 3 teams. So the first team in semi-final 2 will be SC Magdeburg from Germany. And we continue with the second team of semi-final 1, which will be Iskra Kielce. And they will meet the host Veszprém in semi-final 1. And with the last ball for today, we will have Paris Saint-Germain, and they go to semi-final 2 and will play SC Magdeburg. So again, a quick recap. In Veszprém, we will play in semi-final 1 Veszprém against Kielce, and in semi-final 2 Magdeburg against Paris Saint-Germain. As Thomas already mentioned before, the semi-final 1 and semi-final 2 doesn't need to be played in that order. It can also be the other way around, depending on the match times, which will be communicated as soon as possible. And with this, back to you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, let's have a look again at the graphic and the overview of the 4 qualification tournaments in the Youth Club Trophy Men. And I'll just give you a quick heads up on the playing dates also for those 4 tournaments. The tournament in Poreč, as I said, in parallel, or at least one day in parallel to the women's tournament. This one is being played on the 30th and 31st of March. Just 2 days earlier, the tournament in Bucharest already throws off 28th and 29th of March for this one. And in Hungary, in Szeged, we play on 31st of March and 1st of April. And then in Veszprém, 2nd of April and 3rd of April. And I'm just going to repeat it to make sure I did say it correctly. Szeged, 31st of March and 1st of April are the playing dates. Well, this concludes the draw for the Youth Club Trophy, the men's tournament as well as the women's tournament today. Again, I would just like to highlight there is a fantastic road ahead for these 16 participating teams. The winning team from each group will eventually travel to Budapest and the Raiffeisenbank EHF Final Four for the women's side, and the winning team of each qualification tournament on the men's side, they will have the opportunity to play alongside the Track Scout 24 EHF Final Four in Cologne, with the final taking place in Cologne at Lanxess Arena and in Budapest at the MVM Dome. Well, I hope you're looking forward to these matches. Make sure you mark them in your calendar. Late March, respectively the beginning of April. And then, well, if you haven't marked the EHF Final Fours in your calendar, it's 6th and 7th of June for Budapest, and 1 week later, 13th and 14th of June for Cologne. Well, we have one more draw today. Stay tuned. In about 2.5 hours for today, we will actually going to be drawing the men's 20 and men's 18 EHF Euros, our summer youth tournaments, as well as the corresponding championships. Until then, well, I wish you a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed today's draw, and I hope we see you soon.
Wow, wow, wow.